Hi, so again, good evening or good day to those who are watching this video. I know that some of you may find this video helpful for those who want to learn about the public speaking. You might be holding a subject or you might be an instructor or an English teacher, right? So in this subject, in this topic today that we'll be tackling, you'll be learning about the public speaking. This one is my first PPT I will be sharing to you because this one is very important, especially those who are English learners or English language learners, as well as those who are not yet teaching, but of course, you can still learn. And whatever you can learn here, you can share it with others. Yes? Alright, let me start. So just keep on watching until the end. If you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, I am Lilibeth Wenceslao, a licensed professional teacher, Teacher Beth for short, ready to help you and of course acing your English learning, of course improving. So I am making an additional or educational videos wherein you can learn easy or basic more about the English as you grow will as your growth in English or learning English will improved and enhanced. Now, today's topic will be about so this is about the introduction to public speaking. You might find yourself afraid or scared when you face a lot of people. Do you also have experience that way? Yes? Alright. So, we need to know why there are a lot of us may find public speaking hilarious or sometimes, scary or a frightened experience. But you know what? When you face a lot of people, it's you that they would have to be watched. Yes? Because you are on your way. You are on that stage. In that stage, of course, you will share a lot of your ideas. Isn't it that good? So, therefore, you have to overcome whatever you are feeling. Alright? So, but no matter how weak you are or you think you are weak doesn't mean it will fail you. It's just there for you to make yourself better and confidence when you are speaking. You have to be confident in your speaking. All right, let me start. So this is the first activity that I was asked my students to do. This is group activity. I assigned my students a group activity, which is I formed them at least four, and they're going to identify at least six important parts of giving a speech. Examples include images, facial expressions, pronunciation, rate of speech, catchy titles, introductions, organizations, bodies, conclusions, and summaries, entertaining, visuals, and audience responses. So each group will be given 5 minutes to present their work. So you, of course, you can think of something where your students will enjoy. So as I was watching them, I was so amazed how they made that. Their effort, as long as their confidence when they speak, when they share their idea. I like that way. Alright, let's proceed to this introduction. What is public speaking? This is my very first question where this is I ask my students what is public speaking or what public speaking is. All right. So this one, and this time around, we all know that sometimes public speaking made us shy sometimes or nervous, especially we're in the middle of the stage, right? But sometimes it's just helping us to develop ourselves, how to speak, and especially, and of course, how to face a lot of people. So, what is public speaking? You might have thinking about. All right, let's take a look at its meaning. So, public speaking is an act of performing a speech in front of a live audience. See, as an integral part of a scientific communication. Now, have you ever believed that public speaking helps you develop your communication skills? If you answer it yes, yes, that's correct. Because when we say public speaking, you act on that stage when you face with many people so that you will overcome still your yourself as of course to improve and become a better version of yourself. So public speaking is very important. Why? Because it is an act of performing a speech in front of a live audience. It is also an integral part of a scientific communication. Now, why is public speaking important? What do you think? Why do we have to speak? Why do we have to be a public speaker? Many people had experienced public speaking with a lot of people because that's their job, especially the president, who is mostly a public speaker, right? Artists, they can also have their public speaking, not just an artist but of course a student. Students before they get promoted or promoted to another year, they have to encounter public speaking. So therefore, public speaking is what? Why? Because we have to win over your crowd. When we win over a crowd, meaning we influence a lot of our audiences. Yes, and that is good because aside from that, we motivate people. And after we motivate people, maybe because they get motivated because of our encouraging words or encouragement. What if your words is the big what is a big motivator for them to continue their living? So therefore, it is very important that this public speaking to be applied. Yes, and next, we have this develop critical thinking skills. So, aside from sharing, motivating your audience, inspiring your audience to evoke their emotions, as well as it will encourage them to think or develop their critical thinking skills. Why? Because they would be thinking. So for example, if you are informing about your topic, they might think of something, a solution for that problem. They might say, "Ah, really? It just have to be like that. Oh, yes, we need to do this like this. Oh, I was so amazed by how this person spoke a lot of people. So a lot of people. See? How's that? All right. So now I hope that you still have learning in this video. Now we're not done yet. We're just going to continue. Now we all know why and what public speaking is. Now let's continue to another types of public speaking. Now we people have different skills in you know in sharing our communications with others, alright? So for example, you are promoting your project. Of course you need to be a public speaker as well for you want to make them convinced of the product you're promoting about. Yes? So, are you ready to learn about the public speaking? If you want to say yes, okay, let's continue. So, here are the five most common different types of public speaking. These are first is we have the ceremonial speaking. Now, what is ceremonial speaking? The second one is persuasive speaking. Next one is we have the informative speaking. Next is we have the informative, entertaining, and demonstrative. speaking. Now later on we will know about this. What are these speaking about? Ma, yun na yung tabi na ma. Okay. So first we have the ceremonial speaking. When we say ceremonial speaking, originally called epidictic oratory, includes graduation speeches, wedding speeches, eulogy speeches, after dinner speeches, award speeches, toast speeches, and tribute speeches. The biggest thing that these have in common is that they have a heavy emphasis on pathos emotion. What is that pathos? What's that emotion? Yeah? So pathos, which is our emotion. Now, originally called epidietic oratory, meaning you are going to convey about your message to someone because you will be public, we will be speaking in public about the ceremony. Say, for example, wedding ceremony, eulogy. Eulogy sometimes it could be uh, if someone has died, then you would give your background, you would give your eulogy speech, right? So whatever your experience with them, your happiness, or the time before he passed away, right? Something like that. Next, about the graduation speeches. So most of the students are aware of that graduation students. All right, next we also have this after dinner speeches. I know that you're also familiar with the after dinner. When I say after dinner, so before or after the dinner that you took dinner, you will have your speeches with a lot of people say thank you for inviting us and thank you for welcoming your invitation. I mean, your dinner for tonight, something like that. And also, we have the award speeches. Let's say a Manny Pacquiao award, and or ceremony, something like that. So we also have these toast speeches. Now, if you have also experienced the toast speeches, then therefore you might agree with something or some about something. And we have these tribute speeches. So those are just speeches we will be talking about in the ceremonial speaking. All right, so something like this, as you can see on the picture, that's it. Now, let's continue to the persuasive speaking. When we say persuasive, this is a formal way to present arguments to convince an audience to agree with that speaker. So it can also encourage the people to vote, donate organs, recycle, or take other actions. So persuasive speaking is very important in a good way, wherein in a manner of speaking, you're ultimately a good speaker about something in a good way. You will be about to convince your audience about what your product's about, what's the good in your product, why we should buy your product, something like that. You are going to persuade someone or someone about something. All right. Next, we have this informative speaking. Right after we persuade, we also inform someone about the importance. For example, let's say our topic will be about the ecology or the World Health Organization. So we need to be aware of the vaccine, something like that, and medicines that we should take for that so that we could have a good, healthy living. Therefore, that is informative speaking. Why? Because informative speaking is a type of speech that uses facts and evidence to educate an audience about a topic. It's different from persuasive speaking because it doesn't try to convince the audience to take a certain action or side on an issue, right? Next, Entertaining speaking. Entertaining speaking is also important because it is a type of speech that aims to amuse and engage an audience. It is often shorter and less formal than traditional speeches, and it often uses humor or storytelling. So entertaining speaking is sometimes very amazed. Yeah. Why? Because people would still amaze you by how you entertain them with your words. You might be using a lot of amusing words, engaging and interacting words, wherein they could say, "Oh, I loved your topic. I love the way you speak because you give emphasis on what you are talking about." Something like that. Yes. Now let's continue to the demonstrative speaking. Demonstrative speaking is explaining how to do something, and Lucas is what and Watham 2019 defined demonstrative speeches as explaining how listeners can do something by giving them specific instructions and details. So that's it. That is why demonstrative speaking, those are just, if you are going to demonstrate something, say for example, someone asks you how to cook adobo, you will say, "Oh, this is how did you cook adobo. That's how you're gonna do it." That's demonstrative speaking as well. Now, we have this how to improve public speaking skills because some of us might have lacking of it. But of course, if we still watching in this video, we can learn. First, we have to be confident. Why? Because confidence helps to attract the opposite person very well. Therefore, when you believe what you say, it will also be easier to convince others to believe what you say. You might be feeling anxious and lacking in confidence. Don't worry, you will get over it with these tips to beat glossophobia. Glossophobia is the fear of public speaking. So you might be looking for a tips. You can look for how to beat glossophobia. Alright, next we have make eye contact and smile. So for example, your teacher asks you, but you didn't get eye to eye to your teacher because you're afraid to be called by your teacher. You need to face and smile, just like what you are doing at your school, or even you are not yet professional, but still you wanted to be a professional. So during everyone is watching on you, you have to be what? To make eye contact and smile. Why? Because you will know if they are still listening to you. And of course, you will identify how effective you are as a public speaker. Yes. Next, we have this use body language. Why do we have to use our body language? It's because using our hands as a communication aid. Use body language because you use your hands as a communication aid. When I say aid, that is your way in order to catch their attention as well. However, they should be used at the right time. Alright? When we use our body language, we need to use it in the right time and avoid waving arms and legs too much to cause discomfort to viewers. Of course, you have to create emotion when speaking, and making facial expressions suitable for the speech will make it more lively and the audience more empathetic. So, paying attention to phonetics rather, and rhythm when conveying information will make your public speaking more engaging. Now, I also have another tip for you, which is start with an interesting way. You have to start with interesting way so that your teacher, I mean your listeners would really get their or caught their interest. Yes, because it is advisable to start the presentation with something unrelated to a story, a state of surprise, etc. Keep the audience curious about what you are about to do and create initial attention to the speech. Next, you also have to interact with listeners. You might Okay, what did you do? Something like that. You communicate with your listeners with questions to help you learn more about your audience's needs and solve problems. Next is we have to control time. It's because speeches that follow the plan will have a higher level of success. If the speech is too long and rambling, it will make the listeners no longer interested and look forward to the following parts. Have you ever experienced that one day or sometimes when you get bored because of just listening and listening and there's no interaction at all? There's no interaction and engaging activities that might your teacher have started. Yes, something like that. Build plan B. So set yourself up for possible risky situations and make your own solutions. That will help you stay calm in the unexpected. All right, so those are our introduction for the public speaking. I hope you learned something today. By the way, I also have prepared here an activity for you to identify. Here, the following identifications are the statement. First, what do you call that it is a type of speech that aims to amuse and engage an audience? Number two, it is a type of speech that uses facts and evidence to educate an audience about a topic. Three, it explains how to do something. Lucas and Watam 2019 defined by how listeners can do something by giving them a specific instructions and details. Number four is it is a formal way to present arguments to convince an audience to agree with the speaker. It can also encourage people to vote, donate organs, recycle, or take other actions. Number five is it is originally called epidactic oratory and includes graduation speeches, wedding speeches, eulogy speeches, after dinner speeches, award speeches, and toast speeches or tribute speeches. So I hope you get answered the five. Your answer you may answer or you may comment your answer on the comment section. Alright? That would be all. So again, if you want to learn more, just don't forget to click like and subscribe. You can also share this video. Thank you. Bye. See you in our next session.